What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Today is going to be different. Story time. Because I tell you guys that, when it comes to this Africa and this French thing, that I pretty much kind of know what they're going to do. And because I've kind of done it, I kind of did some stuff like that when I was in the Marine Corps. I was a part of a unit that did that. I'm going to put a little context behind it so you guys can get where I'm coming from. Because I keep telling y'all, I've been living in the real world since I was 17 years old, right? So, here's the story. So, I'm headed to Afghanistan. I'm part of the 22nd MU Expeditionary Unit, Special Operations. So, we had a goal. We was going to Afghanistan, and we had 15 targets. 15 targets that we needed to eliminate, all right? And so we had a list, right, with 15 targets we had to eliminate. And we also had to coordinate with other groups on the ground. So we get to Afghanistan, we get to our forward operating base, which is way to hell in boomhickey, dumb ass freaking boondocky Afghanistan. I'm talking, we in the mountains, high as shit, right? And it's just us. It's probably about maybe a couple hundred of us at the point. My platoon was the first one to get there. So we landed because I was 81 millimeter mortarman. I was also a trap team of tactical recovery aircraft and crew. Basically, Tears of the Sun with Bruce Willis. When he was in Africa and they had to go get those people, that's what I did, right? That's why I knew that mission was bullshit, because ain't no way. We would have dropped in the forest and not know there was 1,000 goddamn rebels, brigades of troops, and that was just for the movies. But so in Afghanistan, one day we went on this patrol. First, our base that we landed was outside of a city of a Taliban warlord, okay? Now, people seem to think the Taliban is one big group, but in actuality, there's different bands of Taliban, right? And all the Taliban people don't like each other. And keep in mind, it was America who created the Taliban in a proxy war to fight Russia, right? The same way we arm Ukrainian to fight Russia. We've been arming people to fight Russia in several countries. Afghanistan was one of them. So we armed them. It was a student-led group, and we armed them, and we gave them weapons and training and all that stuff. So I'm over here. There's a warlord who has a palace in the village, right? And we're right outside of the village because that's where we're going to camp, so we can go get these 15 people that we came to get. So a lot of our lieutenants actually stayed at the palace, in the Taliban palace, where the Taliban, the base in the middle of the village, okay? They were there, right? Living and staying in the palace with the Taliban, all right? Keep in mind. Now, we had Taliban, we had Al-Qaeda, and we had various other groups that some are called ISIS and ISIL, and you got all sorts of different names that you guys never even heard of. There's a whole bunch of factions of Afghanistan, right? And so we're there, the DEA's there. The DEA was deep. They was deep. I was like, God damn. I'm telling you, there's some spicy stuff going on there because there's a lot of heroin over there. And I used to put the poppy seeds in my helmet. I mean, it was everywhere. I mean, heroin is everywhere in Afghanistan. I mean, needless to say, the whole battalion didn't get a drug test for at least two years when we got back. Trust and believe. Because they do, that dip. Y'all know how them, they do that dip, that tobacco. We're over there in Afghanistan, they actually put heroin in that shit. And, them white boys, they said, let me try that. And they'd be like, let me try that. And they would do a swap, cultural exchange, right? But anyway, so there's one day we had to go on a mission to, I don't know what the hell we was doing, but I was a section leader. So we went to the palace, right? So we went to the palace, they opened the doors up, and here comes this guy, and I swear this really happened. The warlord comes out. I'm sitting here, I got my weapon, I'm sitting there, we're about to go on this fucking long ass patrol and shit. These patrols last like 2 days, yo. Like, these some long ass patrols. You and 15 of your closest buddies about to go to bumpicky anywhere. Y'all about to walk somewhere and go do something for 2 days, right? So we get there because the Taliban dude had beef with another Taliban dude. So we were like, yeah, what we gonna do while we going out? They didn't want us to kill his Taliban fighters. So he was like, somebody came up with a great idea to have them come along with us. Right, so I was in charge of 3 Taliban fighters myself, right? And we looked at their weapons. They had AK-47s. They all messed up and beat up. So we fixed their weapons, cleaned their weapons, made sure their weapons worked right, and we took them along on patrol with us, right? We were hunting for other Taliban you know, people or Al-Qaeda, because the Taliban don't like Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda don't like Taliban. ISIS don't like Taliban. They don't, none of these guys like each other, okay? So I take the Taliban, I'm on patrol, and in my mind, I'm thinking, hold the hell up. I'm on patrol with the Taliban, and I'm going, you know, I'm young, right? I'm just like, wow, okay, that's what we doing, right? So I'm walking. First of all, these Taliban, I can see why they get killed, because they have no discipline or training. All they do is smoke weed. They was smoking weed the whole time. And I was like, bruh, you know, I'm speaking to them because we had to learn a little Pashtun, because that's what they spoke, right? They're not Arabic. These people don't like, all of them don't like to be called Arabic. They have their own thing. So we're on patrol with the Taliban, taking them so they can help us go find, you know, some people on the hit list, right? And so we went out there, and I just could not trust these guys. I was like, man, I'm literally, I got these guys to my left, right. I'm in charge of them. I got 3. My other homeboy got 3. My other homeboy got 3. And so we take them out. This is a 48-hour patrol. So we go out here, and these dudes are smoking weed. Every time we do a security halt, they take those turbans, they lay them things out like they're having a picnic. They playing cards. They got their little ham radios, and they smoking their weed, and they playing games. They stack rocks on top of each other. Who can get the rock? Who can put rocks on top of each other the highest before it falls, or whatever. That's the thing. You'll see that shit everywhere, just random rocks stacked on top of each other in Afghanistan. And at that moment, I realized there's a lot of politics involved here. You know, the Taliban themselves, is kind of like a governmental organization that the media kind of makes you think that they're just some random people in the mountains that just want to do this and do that. No, these people are propped up by us, right? That's why the Taliban that you see now, that take over, we allowed that to happen, because in order to get the Taliban to come from in the mountains, the ones we don't like, to get from in the mountains to get to where we can see them, we just say you're in charge, and we let them go to the capital, where they have to now govern the country. But see, what's happening now is our special operators are training other groups, right, in the mountains, in Pakistan, and various other different places, to disrupt the Taliban that we allowed to stay in control. Because if you want to really get somebody, if you know where he is every day because he got a schedule, then bam, it's easier to catch him if he's right there, rather than having to chase this dude in the mountains, right? Oh yeah, by the way, we had 15. We got all them dudes in, like, it took us like 2 weeks to get all of them. We got every single one on the hit list. That's how I know. We had to know where Osama bin Laden was. Like, we had to. I was right on the border of Pakistan. We were all there. Like, there's no way. Like, we had to know. That I'm convinced that we knew. There's no way. You can't hide from us. Like, a 6 foot something redhead Arab dude. No. Or Pashtun dude. No way. Because them guys are small over there. But anyway, once I realized that there's a lot of different politics and nuance, and it's not just patriotic Americans versus the terrorists and da-da-da. No, there's a lot involved, guys. We was over there training the Taliban to fight. We were giving them equipment. We were making them capable force, because we knew that the government that was already in charge, that we had previously propped up, they weren't strong enough to hold on to the country. We knew that. That's why we were stuck in Afghanistan, because the government that we trained, the Afghan military that we were training, and they also was going on patrol with us too. We took the Afghan police with us. We trained the Afghan police. We trained the Afghan military. We even created new militias, and we trained them. Went on patrol with them. Every time we got in a firefight, these dudes go run off behind some damn rocks while we had to do all the goddamn work. Damn fucking killing and shit, right? They would run off. We had to do all the work. Like, these guys didn't have no medal. You understand? Because there's no, like, patriotism there. There's no patriot. They don't see themselves as one big glob, a group. There's just a lot of factions trying to take control of an area that's just really good for growing heroin and weed. There's a lot of weed there. Oh my God. Weed and heroin is like the only thing that grows there, right? I'm telling you, it's all about heroin, because Afghanistan grows heroin. I think Cambodia and Southeast Asia, there's some places that grow heroin, and lo and behold, those are the places we go to war. Vietnam, Cambodia, heroin. Afghanistan, heroin. All right, how y'all think we get all this shit? All right, but yeah. So I've personally been on patrol with the so-called enemy, Taliban, looking for other Taliban and looking for Al-Qaeda. See, Taliban, they don't blow themselves up because they're a political organization. They're not really as fundamental as you think, even though they are very fundamental. Everybody in Afghanistan is like that. So we weren't there to liberate or save anybody. Because everybody treats women like shit there. All the regular people, the women ain't nothing but dogs. They were less than dogs. Women are less than dogs. Like, they are less than, they don't have no rights. They never had nothing. And that made me question myself, like, why? I thought we were here to liberate Afghanistan from the Taliban. But I'm like, well, shit, they all the same. Whether it's the Taliban is in charge or whether it's the other Afghanis in charge, they all treat the women like shit. They all don't really value education like that. I mean, they all got the same exact issue. It's just who is going to give America what they want? That's the question. America don't care who's in charge. Oh yeah, by the way, after we finish using that warlord, this the crazy part. Sorry, I got that light. After we finished with that warlord, we actually captured him and took his ass to Guantanamo Bay. And his brother, which was another warlord, got all upset and shit and was like, try to petition to the United States. Oh, we helped you, blah, 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 blah. And you're just gonna come and take our brother? Because America don't give a shit. America's a straight Death Star gangster. After we used him, let our officers and stay in his palace, took his troops on patrol with us. After we were done with him, we just said, all right, we're done with you. We're gonna scoop you up and send you to Guantanamo Bay. And we just kept it mush. We did everything we needed to do in Afghanistan. We did it real fast to the point where Geraldo came, said, hey, y'all doing such a great job, y'all should stay. And then that became a great idea. And I ended up staying there like 8 fucking months. That shit was next level, right? But all I'm saying is, I told that story just to say, I know what's really happening. I know what they say on TV, but then I know what's happening in real life. Most of the stuff you see on TV is just entertainment. It's all propaganda, so you can believe what it is that they want you to believe, so that your sentiment about it, does it affect them, when they make the decisions to do what they got to do for American interests, right? And so that the people who do make the decision to make the votes can still get voted in. Because if you're supporting it, then that means when it comes for election time and it's time for them same senators and congressmen who signed off to go to war, who signed off to have any type of military expedition, they'll still get voted in and can stay in power. Nobody wants to sacrifice their political career for international interest, for America's interest. Nobody wants to do that. So America has to be on their side when it comes to going to war, right? So yeah, I'm telling you. And that's just one story. I can't, there's a lot of shit. I got a lot of stories. So that's why I'm so serious, and I'm like, y'all just don't know. Like, this shit is easy. Like the shit we deal with in America, the struggles we got here, even the women, they feel like they've been discriminated. Y'all don't know what discrimination is. Like far as like modern day, like the shit that I seen over there, I couldn't believe that human beings still treat each other like that. Like, is equivalent to what white people did to us. I'm gonna say that. I'm not even gonna do it. It's equivalent to that now, over there, right now, in the Arab world, man. It's a whole thing over there. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of my receipts, tell you a small little story, just so y'all can understand where I'm coming from when I say, hey, I know what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about just overseas shit, when I'm talking about how America rolls, we gangsters. Look, every powerful nation's a gangsters. I'm not condemning America for the things that they do. Every powerful nation, every powerful king, every powerful empire are tyrants to somebody throughout history. There's never been a King Arthur. That shit is a fantasy, all right? In order to be on top, you got to do some shit. And that's just the nature of the beast, okay? Anyway, that's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn some, teach some. I'm out.